Not
Yeah.
everyone is, not everyone is an addict. Not everyone is, and not
Makes
everyone
sense.
is also, like I said, a lot of people are there just having fun,
Mm.
and it's not, it can be detrimental, but like myself included, there's people that enjoy nightlife in moderation and they still lead happy and productive lives.
Right.
I think the biggest probably big misconception is that anyone that's in nightlife or frequents the nightlife in this nightlife scene is not productive or is not successful, not happy. But that's not true.
Mm. No, you went over that. That's pretty awesome. What about the construction? You
I
know?
think with construction, at least this is what I've heard because I've only been in it now since September.
Okay.
That
What's your role in that in the
so
business?
chief marketing officer, I oversee the marketing.
CMO.
Yeah, and also, like I said,
That's
the
awesome.
humanitarian efforts.
Yeah.
I love that. I have a big piece in that too. And on a day to day basis, it's basically building the brand. Getting more people to know about the industry, and like we were talking about the misconception. I feel like that a lot of there's a lot of shady people. There's shady people in
Yeah.
every industry, right? But I've heard in construction that there's a lot more. So we won the Better Business Bureau Torch Award for ethics. So just being a company that has good values and is basically taking care of the customers, customer satisfaction. I'm big on hospitality. I was director of hospitality for Electric Hotel back in the day.
Nice.
So I'm just big on making sure the customer's always happy. And, because everything's relationship based, right?
Yeah.
You're going to get referrals from that. You're going to get people that are, down the road that will use you again, and they're always going to speak highly of you. What we talked about, reputation and brand, it's so huge in every industry. So that's why with the Mohawk construction, that's a big thing that I'm really, focusing on and making sure that we have an upstanding, everyone, I believe, you want to have the best reputation possible, and that's only going to help grow you in all avenues.
Eric, we're gonna end it off with this. I got one final question for you. What's the most important thing you've learned in your life?
Most important thing I would say is honestly loving yourself. I've found that when you love yourself and you don't seek validation from others or have expectations on how other people, feel about you, then it doesn't matter. If you love yourself, you could do anything you want. And once I realized that I love myself and I love what I bring to the table, my value, my characteristics, not even from a physical standpoint, right?